Pacers roll for win number 5, their first road win coming here in Chicago. They smack the Bulls. The best 3 were very good. Ethan Thompson, yes, Ethan Thompson was very good. The rotation was quite different. We'll break it all down today on the Locked On Pacers podcast.
You are Locked On Pacers, your daily Indiana Pacers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday/weekend, and welcome into another edition of the Locked On Pacers podcast, where we, of course, talk about the Indiana Pacers. As always, my name's Tony East. I cover the team for Forbes and Circle City Spin, and today I am in the deep parts of the United Center, in a room with no carpet and very echoey audio because they play hockey here and they're flipping the court, and that court, the Pacers just dominated on. They crushed the Bulls 120-115, one flimsy stretch in the third quarter. The only thing separating the Pacers from a really dominant last 3 quarters of this game, they got into their stuff early. Their best 3 guys all looked really good. A season high for Siakam. Bennedict Mathurin approaches his best game ever from deep. Nembhard was good. And Ethan Thompson. Oh, man. Every fiber of Tony East's existence wants to lead this podcast talking about Ethan Thompson and the 34 minutes of great basketball he just played for the Pacers. But I can't in good faith do that, because the reason the Pacers were better than the Bulls tonight and kept the Bulls away is because their best 3 players were all very good in the same game. And I think it started with one guy, and then the middle of the game kind of had one guy, and then late in the game had another guy, although they all sprinkled their best moments throughout the game. But a lot of post-game credit for the Pacers' successful offensive night. They shot 54% from the field, 46% from deep, both among their best numbers in the game this season as a team. Their offense got started pretty early. The Bulls scored a lot in the first quarter. The Pacers' defense stunk early. Once their defense got going, they won the game, but their offense never faded at all. And it started with Andrew Nembhard, who was just getting to spots, and that's what he does, right? He takes some shots that not a lot of guys take. He took 9 twos in this game, but he takes a mid-ranger here, an elbow jumper there, a funky baseline shot here. And so he just, when he can kind of skate around to his spots, he looks super threatening, right? And he got to his early offense. He was pushing well in transition, both because he was just doing a good job in the open floor and in transition, and because he was really active on defense. 3 steals in this game. He completely shut off the Josh Giddey water. Josh Giddey goes 2 for 9 with 5 turnovers. He was in, as you guys like to say, hell in this game. And so the Pacers were initiating and getting confident and flowing early on offense because of their defense and because Andrew Nembhard started the game off very effectively. I thought that was crucial for him. And he played well, obviously, throughout the entirety of the game. But if you check out his shot chart, you can see like the stuff he does is shots that not a lot of guys take. First quarter, Andrew Nembhard, 7 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. I believe he scored or assisted on their first 8 baskets of this game. The 9th one was a Mathurin 3 that broke the Pacers out of that streak. Like, of course, that level of production from one guy is extremely important. And so I thought he was the guy early that got him going, even though Mathurin did outscore him in the first quarter. Mathurin played all 12 minutes, actually, of the first period and had 9 points. The very early returns for the Pacers was an Andrew Nembhard game. And Mathurin was filling in the gaps in that quarter, and then Mathurin was filling in the gaps in the third quarter where he had 6 points, and then Mathurin was slamming the door in the fourth quarter where he had 8 more points. But this was not an atypical Mathurin game. I don't want to say it like that, but he didn't have any 10-point quarters. 8 in the fourth, 6 in the third, 5 in the second, and 9 in the first. That's all very productive quarters for on your way to 28 points without a 10-point quarter. That, like, Mathurin can score 28. We've seen it a million times, but it's not common for him to do it like that. A lot of his high-scoring games come with the third quarter, all of a sudden Ben Mathurin's the only offense that's working. He's going to score 12 points in this quarter. Or, no one can score in the fourth quarter. Ben Mathurin's going to score 16 out of the Pacers' next 18 points. That's still a good thing. Neither of these are better than the other, but it's very rare, or maybe not rare. It's less common that Bennedict Mathurin has a successful offensive night that feels like this, where he is more Siakam-y, where it's like a drip here, a drip there, a play there, a play there. That's good. That's a good thing to be able to do, because he played 38 minutes. I never once felt like, oh my God, Bennedict Mathurin is taking over this basketball game right now. And he finished with 28, 5, and 2. or 25 and 3, excuse me. He was awesome with the shot making. 6 of 11 from deep will do that, but 3 for 5 on twos is, of course, still very good. He was just dotting corner threes, getting his spots. He really had good connection with Jay Huff in this game. I thought that was extremely noteworthy. He said he's been telling Huff to roll. And Huff's a natural pop guy, obviously, but they got some good back and forth passing going. Mathurin's best assist of this game, a lefty bounce pass, was to Huff. He talked about getting his assist numbers up post-game. Huff had, I think, twice shot faked out of a good-looking three. One time just got it to Mathurin in the corner for a quick three. The other time put it on the floor and eventually got it through him. Huff very quietly had a connective game. He had 5 assists in this game. That was the second most of any Pacer, but Mathurin was a recipient of a lot of that, and Mathurin was very good in this game. It's very rare that, again, his impact feels so spread out like that, where he didn't have a moment of the game where I thought, that's Mathurin's moment. That's the takeover part that needed from him, but he had a lot of very good moments in a way that was very successful. Pascal Siakam, his moments did happen. He's usually the guy who's the slow drip guy. I actually felt post-game, like if you asked me what was Siakam's best quarter, I would have said the fourth. He had 9 points in the fourth. But the second quarter takeover from Siakam, 6 for 10. He took 10 of the Pacers' 21 shots that period. He made both of his threes on his way to 14 points and 4 rebounds that quarter. And that is one great quarter. This was really just dominance from Pascal Siakam, who finishes with a season high 36 points, one off of his most ever as a Pacer. For all the great scoring games and very productive games he's had for this Pacers team, he has yet to crack 40. He has yet to have like a holy smokes level statistical night, but he's had a lot of ones like this where he's very good with 36, and he does a lot of other stuff. 10 boards. He led the Pacers in rebounds by a lot. No one else had more than 5. The Pacers rebounding, they got smoked in this game, 35 to 46, but they made so many shots. The glass was not as important for them. And an awesome defensive night from Siakam. The Bulls just cannot handle him. They can't do it. They don't have a good person to put on Pascal Siakam. See also the game he just played against the Bulls where he crushed them and hit the game winner. Don't get me wrong. The Bulls have size. Julian Phillips is not small. Buzelis is not small. Vooch can, in theory, guard him. Teams try to put their centers on him. Patrick Williams played a bunch of minutes off the bench. None of these guys can guard Siakam. And the ones that are the right, in theory, size to do it on the wing, I would say Buzelis and Williams fit the size thing. In Williams' case, he's just not a particularly good defensive player, and Siakam can just kind of step out to his spots or do his little moves and score. And he was hitting a lot of these just like only Siakam takes that shots in this game. Spin move here, fading there, high release point gets him a bucket here. Like he did a lot of impressive stuff there, but I love when he's guarded by Buzelis, who was guarding him for the game winner in the first game between the Pacers and Bulls. I don't mean any of what I'm about to say is this big critique of Buzelis' defense. Matas Buzelis is a great player. 19 and 12 in this game. He made all 9 of his foul shots. Getting up 9 free throws is impressive. Matas Buzelis is going to be good and going to be a problem for the Pacers in their division for years to come. However, he falls into this category of, I think there's a lot of guys like this, and this used to apply a lot to Sabonis. When Sabonis was with the Pacers, one of my favorite games that would happen is Sabonis would be guarded by a young center. And young centers, even strong ones, like the way basketball is now, you don't come up in America guarding a lot of post players or learning a lot about crafty bigs. And so Sabonis would just punk these dudes all night. He would spin for this shot and power through for this shot and do Sabonis-y things, and the Pacers would win and he'd score a bunch of points. Buzelis versus Siakam is the current Pacers version of that, where Buzelis, for all the things he can do, sticking with the craft and footwork and unique play that Siakam provides is a challenge that every young player has defending Pascal Siakam, and one that Buzelis has really struggled with. Siakam just gets off shot after shot from spots he likes. He gets fouled a good amount. He led the Pacers in free throw attempts tonight with 7. Like, he just moves around and gets to positions that are good for him, and the Bulls either over-rotate somewhere else. The Bulls' defense stinks. The Bulls stink right now. But all that to say, a bad team cannot guard Pascal Siakam. And in this game, they couldn't. And so you walk out and you see 24 shot attempts. Whoa, that's a lot for Pascal Siakam. I bet that's the highest or among the highest he's had in just a regulation game. I almost said regular season. A regulation game for the Pacers. I'll check that now. I didn't even think to look this up before I started. But it was good. He should have taken that many shots. He took 29 in a game for the Pacers the half season after he was traded to the team. I don't recall that game at all. He took 25 in a game this season. I bet that's the Thunder double overtime game. Yes, that is the Thunder double overtime game. So this is his most in a regular season game across the last 2 seasons. This 29-shot game was against the Lakers. The past California beautiful run of March 2024. Yes, I should have remembered that. He had 36 that night as well. So when he's shooting a lot, that's generally a good thing. That means he likes his matchup. That means the other team can't guard him. And he does not shoot a lot on games he doesn't have it, or it's tough for him. So him taking 24 shots, generally a great sign for the Pacers. It was in this one. I just totally over-explained what made his night so effective. But he made 13 of them. He made 8 of his 17 twos, 5 of his 7 threes on his way to 36 points. He could have gotten to 40. He had a couple attempts late when the game was kind of already decided, but maybe not really. Some fans had headed for the exits, but they left him out there. 36 is season high. And so he with 36, Mathurin with 28, that is 64, 15 more for Andrew Nembhard. That is 79 of the Pacers' 120 points from the big three, one shy of the clean 80 that would have got them to 2/3 total of the Pacers' points. They were just fantastic. They were all very good. They were all very good at different times of the game. They were all very good at different parts of what the Pacers needed offensively. Don't get me wrong. Other players helped the Pacers score in this game. But when those three are all humming and when those three are all connected with their passing and just playing good ball, there's not much opponents can do. And the Pacers showed that in this game. Getting it done with those three, getting it done on offense basically all night. So they'll be happy with that. They'll be happy that they can use their guys in that way against inferior teams, and we know they can do this, but they haven't really had a lot of games like this where they're all humming or it's all unstoppable for a big portion of the game. So big credit to those guys as the Pacers get a win, and yet my heart of hearts really wanted to lead with something else. Ethan Thompson, the Pacers' second in minutes player tonight with 34 minutes played. He had not been in any sort of rotation for this team. He hadn't been on a team until 5 days ago, and here he is being awesome in a Pacers win. How did he do it? What else mattered from this game for the Pacers? Why was their rotation so different, regardless of just Ben Shepherd's absence? So much more to get to close out today's Locked On Pacers. But first, everybody, we got to talk very quickly about the good folks over at DoorDash. The season is heating up, and DoorDash has a way to keep fans in their bag the whole way through. Whether you're watching the highlights, the tunnel fits, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes the entire season more fun because every player has their bag. With DoorDash, fans have one too. DoorDash keeps your snacks stocked, your gear fresh, and your watch party vibes absolutely on point. There are nights when your team stresses you out. Let DoorDash become your post-game therapy. Sometimes you just need dessert now. Those late-night interviews hit, and suddenly you need chips at midnight. DoorDash is built for exactly that. If the group chat says pull up, DoorDash makes sure you show up prepared. Snacks, cups, a phone charger for the friend who's always at 2%. Whatever you need, they've got it from tip-off to overtime. Stay in your bag and order on DoorDash. Get snacks, drinks, gear, whatever gets you through the season delivered right to your door. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Back here on Locked On Pacers, thanks for making us your first listen today and every single day. Locked On Bulls, your second listen. If they decide to record tonight after another stinker, oh my gosh, look at the Bulls' last 5 losses. What happened? They were rolling to start the season. They look terrible right now. I don't know what to make of it. The Locked On Bulls guys know what to make of it. That is a heartless bunch at the moment. They can't really guard or score. I don't know how they won 5 impressive games in a row to start the season. Thank you for being an everyday or listening here on Locked On Pacers every single day. Much appreciated. Seeing all your Spotify and YouTube raps has been legitimately the most heartwarming thing ever. Some of you, an insane and in a positive way number of minutes listen to this podcast this year. Fun year for the Pacers, and they're closing it out with some success. 3 of their last 5 games have been wins. Their schedule until basically December 22nd, outside of a game against the Knicks, is pretty easy. We'll see if this team can actually find some answers. Speaking of answers tonight, Ethan Thompson. Hello, sir. Holy smokes. He entered the day. Some of you might be listening and be like, who is Ethan Thompson at all? If you're not a typical Pacers listener, or you are, but you've been away for a week, one single week, you've never heard of him. They signed him to a 2-way deal on December 1st or November 30th or something. They cut Ray J. Dennis to do it. He'd been scoring like crazy for the Heat's G League team in Sioux Falls, and the Pacers signed him. He was on their summer league team a few years ago, and I've now over-explained this. But they signed him because they think he's good, obviously. And he had never played in the NBA. He had a 2-way with Orlando last year, but he didn't play. So he debuted in the NBA in garbage time with 2 games before this. So he entered this game, entering Bulls Pacers, Ethan Thompson's career stats, which had all been accumulated in the last 5 days. 2 games, 10 minutes, 1 made basket, 1 assist, 1 foul. That's his entire career. So the expectations for him to do anything, I don't even mean this to be critical of Ethan Thompson, who has been good in the G League, but your expectations for a player who has barely played in the NBA, is new to your team, should be extremely, exceedingly low. And yet Rick Carlisle is explaining that Ben Shepherd's out for this game. He has a calf thing. We'll see how long he's out for. I don't think muscle things just go away in a snap, especially the calf. So they have to change up their rotation. Robinson Earl maybe is an option. Garrison Matthews has been playing some. Furphy's back. What are they going to do? They're going to play Ethan Thompson. And Ethan Thompson was playing with Quentin Jackson, who's recovering, by the way, in a little scrimmage with some basketball interns in the morning. And Rick Carlisle calls the trainers at the scrimmage and says, get Ethan out of the game. We're going to play him tonight. He's going to be in the rotation. And so the game starts. Garrison Matthews gets Shepard's spot, and then Thompson slides in as the last guy with that bench group. So it's Furphy, McConnell, Walker, Jackson, Thompson. Robinson Earl did not play. Keep that in mind for future rotation discussion. And Thompson was like kind of rickety in the first quarter. I don't want to say he was bad. He made some defensive plays. He certainly fit in. The bench looked good with him out there. He was +4, but he had no stats. He accumulated no stats in his 6 minutes of first quarter play. So they start the second quarter. They keep the bench on the floor. Let's see what happens. Second quarter, Ethan Thompson, 3 for 4 from the field, all on threes, a rebound, 2 assists, and a steal, +8. He plays all but 10 seconds of the quarter. Some of the reason he stayed in the game at all is that Garrison Matthews, who started, had foul trouble. Matthews comes in, finally ending 18 straight minutes of play for Ethan Thompson, and Garrison Matthews fouls his first play in. He was in the game for 10 seconds, and they put Ethan Thompson back on the floor. And he was still productive to close the quarter. He was very good. 11 minutes and 50 seconds in that second quarter. Thompson had 9 points, a rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. Reminder, entering the game, his career stats were 2 points, no rebounds, 1 assist, no steals. He had more than all of that in the second quarter of Pacers Bulls. Wow. He said the play that got him like into the game and feeling confident about what he was doing and the production he was having was an assist to Siakam kind of on the open floor. But that's an impressive pass to make. Siakam played the whole second quarter. That's also rare, but he was also balling. The Thompson-Siakam combo, yes, the Thompson-Siakam combo was what led the Pacers in that quarter. Lo and behold, foul trouble for Matthews and a productive night for Ethan Thompson. Guess who starts the third quarter? Ethan Thompson, who comes out with 2 blocks, defending pretty well, moving his feet, staying with Kobe White a few times. He made his only shot in that quarter as well, +5 in his 8 minutes there. So there was obviously a halftime break of his sequence of minutes. But if you take away the halftime and just look raw at like the minutes of the game in order, Ethan Thompson in the stretch of 26 minutes and 20 seconds of play played all but 10 seconds and was good for basically all of it. He was awesome. He came back in the fourth quarter, missed a shot, but had a rebound and an assist, was +8 in that stretch as well. So a reminder, this is just to punctuate my points because it's fun. Ethan Thompson, his whole career entering this game was 10 minutes and 6 seconds of NBA play. He had 10 minutes and 9 seconds of play. And he had 2 points and 1 assist. And he ends this game in Chicago, 4 for 6 from the field with 11 points. He made 3 threes, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, no turnovers, 2 rebounds. What? He was exceptional. He wasn't just like, oh, cool, two-way player pitching in, like you saw with Taylor Peters sometimes during the season. Like he was good, and earned minutes with the starters. I always say if a two-way player helps you get 1 win in a season, that's a good two-way signing. Quentin Jackson and Ethan Thompson have now both done that for the Pacers this year. Thompson was awesome. The Pacers' second highest plus-minus was Siakam at +19 in this game. He couldn't keep up with Ethan Thompson's +25. Ethan Thompson, 34 minutes and 18 seconds this game, earned the playing time. Absolutely earned the playing time. He was awesome. It was very cool to see. He got to do the post-game radio interview with the Pacers radio guys. He had fans in Pacers gear chanting Mr. Thompson at him when he walked off the floor. His teammates were hyping him up in the locker room. That is the fun stuff the NBA can be about sometimes. And that's what these seasons can be about sometimes. Although the Pacers are playing better. Again, they've won 3 of their last 5. But credit to Thompson for being ready for a chance like this after not being in the league at all, period, on any team. And then coming in and doing this. He was very good. Last thing to get to, people keep poking around back here. I'm sure you saw me look to the side as somebody came in the room a minute ago. So hopefully I'm not ruining anyone's night here at the United Center. The rotation was different. This is noteworthy. I'm not going to do a notebook thing tonight because I have to drive back from Chicago tonight. I'm not staying here, and I am not going to read through all my notes. But I am going to tell you about the different rotation that is at least, again, noteworthy. Tony East is keeping an eye on this, and you should too, kind of thing. So Shepard's out. And last game, I asked Rick Carlisle post-game about this. Garrison Matthews, who was good against Cleveland, and then pretty solid against Denver, had some nice 2-point baskets. But in that Denver game, he played with the bench unit, and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl did not. Robinson-Earl did not play until garbage time. Oh, okay. Is that a permanent switch? Is that because the Nuggets went zone? Is that because you want shooting? What went into that? What are we going to learn from that? Is that something that should be expected going forward? I asked it very poorly, but that's what I asked. And then today, with Ben Shepherd out, Garrison Matthews started. Already thought that was odd. I would have personally started Jarris Walker, although very bad game from Jarris Walker, who played in the first half and then did not play first quarter, and then did not play again until garbage time. Yikes. He did not play well at all. He deserved the minutes that he ended up with. He's got to be better. He had a good stretch. Eddie Garrison and I just talked about it. This game was not a part of it. So that was surprising to me that they went to Matthews there. And then they went to Thompson first over Walker, and Thompson was better than Walker, but still, they shifted that up. Furphy's playing every night. He played 16 minutes in this game. He actually made a shot. He had a nice drive. He had some great defensive reps on Kobe White in this game. Much more active Jarris, although much more active Furphy, but in general, you want to see him make some more shots. Regardless, they'll take the defense they got. Remember, yesterday, Eddie Garrison and I talked about Furphy, and we both wanted to see some defense from him. We saw it, so that's all great. But the wing rotation, I'm all over the place with my words, without Shepherd, ended up being Matthews starting, Ethan Thompson being the top guy off the bench, Furphy third, and then Walker. And there was only one player with a DNP in this game, because there was a minute 14 of garbage time at the end. Talon Peter played it. Tony Bradley played it. Thompson was on the floor. Jarris was on the floor. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, goose egg, didn't play. So I'm not saying that this means the Pacers have like completely given up on him or changed things, but they have certainly buried him farther down in the wing rotation. Now, Matthews did not play particularly well in this game. He had 3 fouls in 15 minutes. He was 1 for 4 from the field, 3 boards. They lost his minutes by 10 in a 15-point win. I'm not going to tell you Garrison Matthews was good in this game. It seems like they like his skills. And Thompson was good, of course, in this one. So the Pacers play Monday. They play the Kings. That is the last game on Garrison Matthews' current 10-day deal. And I'm just going to guess a couple things. But one, you can only sign 2 10 days with a team. So he can't sign another 10-day anyway. But I will predict that the Pacers won't have another hardship after that, because Ben Shepherd won't have missed 3 games yet. And Aaron Nesmith is recovering, and Quentin Jackson doesn't contribute, and Cam Jones is recovering. Maybe they will, but it'd be very tight with some of their timelines. They might not even have one until Shepherd misses another game. So they might not even be eligible, period. Regardless, Matthews isn't even eligible at all for another 10-day from the Pacers. So keep an eye on if they keep Robinson-Earl, whose contract is non-guaranteed. I like Robinson-Earl. I think he's played well. He has a clear rebounding effectiveness skill. He's only 25. Shot making is, in fact, important. Matthews can do that, although he has only done it in 2 games effectively for the Pacers this year. I don't think Thompson will figure into any standard contract discussions at the exact moment, but much different wing rotation. I mean, if they're going to play more Matthews and Thompson and Furphy than Jarris, especially if Shepherd or Nesmith comes back, would they consider a G League assignment for Jarris Walker? I mean, it's not insane to me if he needs confidence in minutes. I mean, he's been playing better of late, but he did not play well in this game. It's just something to think about, because there is going to be at least one more wing in the mix soon-ish when Nesmith returns. So that's another thing to keep an eye on, is minutes for young guys, Robinson-Earl's future, what the team chose in this game and why, and what it means going forward. And I've rambled too much. Pacers beat the Bulls. They're 5-18. Some reason 5-18 sounds like way more competent than 4-18. Pacers next play Monday, so we'll be back on Monday. So I'll be recording Sunday night, talking more about this team, probably just me for that one. And then we'll do Pacers Kings postgame Monday, and we'll do a bunch of guests the next 2 weeks, because the Pacers only have 3 games in the next 14 days because of the NBA Cup break. So we'll get a lot of setting the scene. We'll do a mailbag. We'll talk trades because December 15th approaches. So lots of fun stuff coming. Thank you guys so much for listening today. You can find me on social media at Tony R. East, and this podcast at Locked On Pacers. Back tomorrow talking more about this Pacers team. We'll see ya. Or excuse me, back tomorrow. Back Sunday talking more about this Pacers team. Till then, everybody, we'll see you very soon.